guys, and welcome to The Picture Show. I am your host, Emily Barmore, and today, with Valentine's Day coming up this Tuesday, today we'll be doing the theme of romance. We are going to be talking about 3 romance movies. We'll talk about Moulin Rouge, Notebook, and P.S. I Love You. We actually have a mashup trailer, so let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Trailer's up.
I believe you were expecting me.
Yes.
Alrighty, and that was the mashup trailer. Shout out to our editor, Alex, for putting all that together. He did a really amazing job. And here to talk about the shows with me, I have my good friend, Sarah Patterson.
Hey guys, glad to be here.
Glad to have you on the show. Now, the first movie we are going to talk about is Moulin Rouge. So, Sarah, can you give me a brief description on Moulin Rouge?
Okay, quick rundown. So you have this burlesque kind of nightclub style dancer named Satine, and she is an aspiring actress, and she falls in love with a poor writer, and the story just follows kind of like the struggles they go through while they try to be together.
Alrighty. Now, who are the actors of this movie?
The actors of this movie is Nicole Kidman. She plays Satine, and then the writer is played by Ian McGregor.
Now, can you tell me a little bit of the relationship between the main actor and the main actress? Like, what are their relationships?
It's kind of funny because in the movie when they meet, she mistakes him for someone else. So she thinks he's this rich guy, and he's really not. So she kind of falls in love with him under false pretenses. She kind of gets mad at him, but in reality, they end up having like a very passionate love, just kind of falling for each other out of just happiness. Nothing else really going into it because he doesn't really have anything to offer her. So more of a passionate style love, I guess you would say.
Alrighty. Now, can you kind of explain why did you want to put this in the romance theme? Like, what makes this a romance movie, kind of?
Well, a lot of people had mixed reviews on it, but me personally, I think it has a lot to offer. There's lots of great visual effects. It's a musical number. There's a great love story. The characters are all there. Just very vibrant, well put together story.
Alrighty. And out of 1 to 5, how would you rate this movie?
Oh, okay, well, I'm kind of biased. This is definitely like a 5. It's one of my favorite movies for sure, especially for a romance movie. So 5 stars.
Okay. Now, the next movie we are going to be talking about is The Notebook. Now, I have personally seen this movie, so what would you tell someone who's never seen this movie? What would you say is the plot of this movie?
This plot, it's kind of similar in a sense about this young girl. She's an heiress to a lot of money, and she falls in love with this poor boy. They meet over the summer, and they have this huge summer fling, and in the end of the summer, they pretty much have to leave each other because, you know, her parents don't approve, pretty much.
Because they want her to be with a rich guy, not a poor guy.
Right. She has so much more to offer the world, you know, I guess is what they think.
Alrighty. Now, who are the 2 main actors?
Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams. I think they do a really good job. They bring a lot of fire to the screen, both very attractive actresses. I like that pick a lot. I don't think they could have picked any two better actors for that.
I do have to agree with you on that. Now, I have heard there is kind of like a twist at the movie.
Yeah, the twist at the end's good. I don't want to spoil anything if no one's ever seen it, but it's also like a classic. I feel like if you haven't seen it, you need to get on that.
Alrighty, and also if you haven't seen the movie, bring some tissues for
Yes.
the ending. It is really good. Okay, now what makes this a romance movie? Like, why did you want to put this in the romance theme? Like, what makes it you want to pick this out of all the romance movies that we have?
Oh, it's a classic. I feel like as far as like romance movie goes, you know, it's not like Casablanca or anything like that, but generally when I think of good, newer romance movies, like a just staple that pops to my head is The Notebook, you know. It's just a all-around good love story. I mean, it got nominated for lots of awards, good picture, all that kind of stuff. It just essence out love.
Now the actors were I like the people that they picked for the movie.
Yeah.
The Ryan Gosling playing the guy, and
They brought a lot of passion to the screen.
yes, playing Noah.
And Allie, Noah and Allie.
Yes,
So.
that was really good. Alrighty, now out of 1 to 5, how would you rate this movie?
Oh,
Kind of hard, isn't it?
it is. I guess I don't want to copy and say 5 again, but I definitely say it's up there. I mean, it can't be less than a 4. I mean, it's just too good.
It's a classical movie.
Yeah, good stuff right there.
Good stuff. Alrighty. Okay, let's go ahead and take a break. Once we come back, we're going to talk about our last movie, which is P.S. I Love You. We're going to go to Nina Murray to talk about the Netflix and DVD picks of the Reeks right after the breaks. Stay tuned. This is The Picture Show.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of
Why don't we go back
Normandy.
and touch on, like,
A
famous
covenant
scenes?
that split the skies over
Okay.
Berlin. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A promise was made. A solemn oath that liberated Seoul. A sacred trust that defended Khe-Sanh. A pact that dug in Da Nang. A contract that weathered Tet. A promise was made. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. A bond that patrolled door to door in Fallujah. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. A promise we all must keep. DAV fights for all veterans and their families so they get the health care, financial benefits, and support they earned. If you're a veteran who needs help or you'd like to help us keep the promise, visit DAV.org.
Are you already a welder and want to advance your skills? Interested in having a higher salary potential and stronger employment demand? At Bossier Parish Community College, you can acquire the skills in 1 semester to become an AWS certified welding inspector. Our first of its kind advanced welding program at Bossier Parish Community College includes courses in new welding technology, management, supervision, and the economics of welding. Become workforce ready for today's high demand, high income advanced welding jobs. To learn more, call us at 318-678-6000.
Mercy Ships is bringing services to countries that would otherwise never be able to access those services.
We just see people that need help. You realise that they have no way of getting help, and I want them to know that they're loved.
Have an interest in robotics and learning how things work? Do you enjoy working with your hands or working with machines? At Bossier Parish Community College, you can prepare for the new breed of industrial careers, combining the fields of mechanical, electrical, and programmed automation. By acquiring the skills at Bossier Parish Community College, you'll earn an associate's degree in advanced manufacturing and mechatronics, and become workforce ready for today's high-demand, high-income manufacturing jobs. To learn more, call us at 318-678-6000.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nina Marie, and these are the Picture Show's DVD and Netflix picks of the week. New out on DVD. First, we have Trolls. After the Burgeons invade Troll Village, Poppy, the happiest troll ever born, and the grouchy Branch set off on a journey to rescue her friends. This animated movie stars Anna Kendrick and Justin Timberlake. Next up, we have Loving, the story of Richard and Mildred Loving, an interracial couple whose challenge of their arrest for getting married in Virginia led to a legal battle that would end at the U.S. Supreme Court. It stars Ruth Negga and Joel Edgerton. Next, we have Almost Christmas. A dysfunctional family gathers together for their first Christmas since their mom died. This comedy stars Kimberly Elise and Omar Epps. Streaming on Netflix, we have Jersey Girl. When a workaholic man becomes a father and loses his wife in one fell swoop, he does what any man would do. He pawns the kid off on his father and buries himself in his work. But when his father decides that it's time that he should shoulder his responsibilities, he learns what it means to be a dad. It stars Ben Affleck and Liv Tyler. Next up, we have 2 Weeks' Notice. Lawyer Lucy goes to work for billionaire George to preserve a community center. George grows dependent on Lucy for everything from legal matters to clothing. Exasperated, Lucy gives notice and picks Harvard graduate June as her replacement. As Lucy's time nears an end, she grows jealous of June and has second thoughts about leaving George. It stars Sandra Bullock and Hugh Grant. Next, we have Brown Sugar, the story of lifelong friends Andre and Sydney, who can attribute their friendship and the launch of their careers to the day they discovered hip-hop on a New York street corner. Now, some 15 years later, as they lay down the tracks toward their futures, hip-hop isn't the only thing that keeps them coming back to that moment on the corner. It stars Taye Diggs and Sanaa Lathan. Well, that's all we have for today. Have a great weekend. Now back to the Picture Show.
Alrighty, and welcome back to the Picture Show. Again, I am Emily Bormer. This is my guest host, Sarah Patterson, and we are here to talk about romance themes. Romance movies, if I could say that. Alrighty, we have talked about Moulin Rouge, The Notebook. The last movie we want to talk about is P.S. I Love You.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Alrighty. Now, can you give me a brief description on P.S. I Love You?
Okay, like a quick plot overview of P.S. I Love You would pretty much be, it's about this man and this woman, and they are very much in love. They're married. They haven't had any kids yet, and sometimes they fight. They kind of live in upstate New York, live busy lives. And then kind of out of nowhere, out of the blue, the husband passes away of a tumor in his brain. Now, he knew he had a tumor, but no one else did. So he writes this series of letters to be delivered to his wife after he dies to kind of help her through her mourning process and get her to really go back out into the world afterwards.
Alrighty. Now, who are the actors and actresses of this, the two main actors and actresses?
The two main actors and actresses is Elizabeth Swank and Gerard Butler, but some of the other big name people in it is Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and then also the blonde girl from Friends. She's in it too. She's the main character's friend, so I can't remember her name though.
Okay. What made you want to pick this as your last movie to talk about in the romance theme? What makes it like a good romance movie? Besides the title, of course.
Of course. Well, the title was pretty good for the last pick since it says P.S. I Love You, and P.S. is at the end of things. So I picked this movie because I think it has a lot of character in the way that it's written. It's not like an average love story, you know. One of the main characters dies, so you're like, well, how does the main character die in the first 10 minutes of the movie and you make a love story about it? Well, it's really about the letters that he writes her and the flashbacks that they have of his life.
Right.
Very romantic, very well thought out words were used. It just kind of sticks out. It's a good movie. Also a really powerful movie for getting to get out of your shell and get back to know yourself, kind of like an empowering movie, I guess you'd say.
So it's very empowering, love story, letters.
Yeah,
letters,
all the good stuff.
All the good stuff that a chick would love.
Most chicks would love me. Myself, I like action movies, so I kind of had
way.
I had to think a while on some romance movies to talk about.
Alrighty, now with this, how would you rate it? 1 out of 5 for this romance movie.
I don't have anything against it, but probably a 3.
Really?
It's not my super favorite, but I really liked some of the tones that it has. I've watched it a couple times, kind of enough for me. It's really sad, I guess. Kind of like watching the Titanic. I don't like to watch it too much because it's just so depressing.
Makes waterfalls.
Right, it's definitely a waterfall movie.
Alrighty, now let's do a recap from each movie. Can you pick out your favorite scene from each movie? The one that stick out to you more.
Okay, Moulin Rouge, for sure. They have this scene where all the characters are together and they do this pitch for a play, and it's like a big musical number, and in the movie, the characters are kind of put on the spot. So whereas as actors, they knew what they were saying.
Right.
In the movie, it was like an improv, and I just thought that it was really creative and fun, and the music was fun.
That does sound really fun.
Yeah.
Like for improv.
It scripted improv in the movie, I guess you would say, but the way they pull through is very well executed, I guess you would say.
Right.
The Notebook, really my favorite scene is the twist, but I can't spoil that for you guys. So
For those of you who haven't seen it.
right. But definitely whenever they have their big kiss scene, it's just so romantic, and like they're all yelling at each other and like, yeah, I'm so mad at you, blah, 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 but really there's just like, please get over here and kiss me. And then they kiss, and it's just like this big dramatic in the rain scene. It's all teary-eyed and beautiful.
Right. Because I've seen that movie, my favorite scene, because I not only do I like action, but I'm a very sappy person too. I like the scene where they first meet, they're under the traffic light and there's no music, so they're just slow dancing and making up music.
Oh, that was sweet.
That is my favorite scene right there.
True love. Dance to no music on. P.S. I Love You, I think my favorite scene, there's a scene in there where, so her husband's dead, and in the movie, with some of the letters that he writes her, he sends her and her friends to his home country of Ireland. I didn't mention this before. Yeah, the main guy, he's Irish, so he has this pretty accent all throughout the movie.
Ooh,
really attractive. Accent. Gerard Butler with an accent, right? So he sends her to Ireland, and she meets one of his friends, and he looks just like Gerard Butler, and it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And just the scene, she like kind of falls in love with him just on first sight because he looks so much like her old husband. And in reality, she finds out that it was her dead husband's best friend.
Really?
Yeah, and he set up the letters to where she would eventually find him, so that maybe that since he was gone, she could have a relationship with him since they were so much alike.
Nice. Now that we talked about your favorite scenes, what are your least favorite scenes in the movies?
Oh man,
That's kind of hard, isn't it?
Yeah, because they're all pretty good movies. Moulin Rouge, I'd have to say the end of it is really, really sad. Unlike the other movies that kind of have like a happy ending, Moulin Rouge has like a darker, sad ending. I don't want to ruin anything, but it doesn't end how you'd hope it would. It's kind of a sad ending. But that's kind of what gives it its dark undertones that really like hit you in the soft spot.
In the feels.
Yeah, the heartstrings. Let's see here. The Notebook. My least favorite scene, just because it makes me cringe, is whenever she is with this other man after she hasn't seen what's his name in the movie? Noah?
Noah.
Yeah, Allie hasn't seen Noah for years, and so Noah finally sees Allie again, and she's with this other man. And, like, it just makes me cringe in the movie, you know?
Yeah.
That lawyer guy. I was like, no, you're not supposed to be with him. You're supposed to be with Noah.
Mm-hmm. Like, I can see where that will be a least favorite scene, because it's just...
Makes you cringe.
Yes, because
Like,
that will have to be, like, a horrible thing right there.
for Noah to feel in the movie, you know?
Yes.
He never got over Allie. He'd been thinking about Allie the whole time. If you haven't seen the movie, in the movie, he actually writes her one letter every day for a year, and she never gets them.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it because, like, someone hid it from her?
Her mom hid it from her
Yes.
because she didn't want Allie to be with Noah. So
Right.
365 letters he wrote every day. He really loved that girl.
That is true love right there. Now,
P.S. I love you. P.S. I love you, least favorite scene, happened in the very beginning of the movie. You know, when you're first watching that movie and you don't know what it's about, because I didn't know what it was about. What's the word I'm looking for? You're almost distraught. You don't know where the movie's going, because in the first couple minutes of the movie, you fall in love with these characters and they're just so romantic and sweet, and you get kind of attached quickly, and then when the husband dies, you're just all like, what am I watching now?
Like, what's the point?
Yeah, like, I thought this was a romance movie. What's
Right.
going on? So, but then
that
it, you
has
know,
to be horrible.
it ascends into the rest of the movie, which, you know, empowers women to move forward and such.
Okay. Now that we're done talking about all the movies, and we talked about our favorite scenes, our least favorite scenes, how would you put the movies in order?
Probably how we talked about them, you know. I kind of, I guess, started thinking about them in that order because I just love Moulin Rouge, all of its vibrance and visuals and how well it's written. Then The Notebook. Man, I really want it to be first because it's so good and it's a classic, but personally, Moulin Rouge kind of fits my style more.
Right. It would more really fit our styles.
Like
'cause
an
we're kind of like
artsy-
we're kind of like the same.
We have
into
the same interests.
Yeah, same interests.
Very artsy, where The Notebook is very girly, I guess you would say. And
right.
neither of us are super girly girls,
Nah.
despite doing this romance theme. And then, of course, P.S. I Love You. Again, I don't have anything against P.S. I Love You. It just, it was different. The undertones were good, the kind of darkness in it, I guess, because the husband
Right.
dies. But it didn't stick out like Moulin Rouge or The Notebook did.
Right. I feel like that's more of like an underdog. Like,
Yeah.
It's just like
It was good,
it was good.
but it didn't hit like the other two.
Right. It doesn't hit for home.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so those are the 3 romance movies that we want to talk about today. Again, I want to thank you, Sarah, for coming on and being my guest
It's a
host.
pleasure. I had a lot of fun up here.
It was a lot of fun. So don't forget, Valentine's Day is this Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So if you wanted to watch a romance movie with your significant other, there are 3 movies that we suggest.
If you want to keep it lighthearted, though, I would definitely say The Notebook would be any good pick for a Valentine's Day.
That's always like my number one choice for like, hey,
Romantic
you want to watch
dates.
like, hey, you want to watch a romance movie? Yeah, sure. What do you want to watch? Let's watch The Notebook. That's always like a go-to.
Go to every time.
But that's what we picked. Again, thank you for coming on to the show. Stay tuned for next Friday picture shows where we talk about John Wick, the second one.
John Wick #2. That's going to be a good show. Make sure you're all tuned in for that.
Tune in for that. Again, I am Emily Barmore. This is Sarah Patterson, and we will see y'all in the next Friday for the picture show. See you
Bye,
guys.
guys.